Hey gang, it's Tom Zeeb, and in today's quick video, I want to introduce you to my #1 student the last couple of years, Mr. Godfrey De La Rosa. Don't miss this one. Keep it rolling.
Hey, how are you doing, folks? Yes, I'm here with Tom and here to talk about, how I managed to get where I'm at this point in time. And one of the things was, before I started with Tom, I was struggling a little bit, trying to figure out how to get it going. Didn't have an idea, kept reading all these infomercials and all these different gurus telling you what to do, but it's not as clear as when I met Tom. And one of the things is I did have someone that I was consulting with that said, hey, it's important to find somebody that's local and get into a real estate group. So I did some research online and came across Tom. I attended some of his meetings, and from there I picked up on his work study books and attended the first boot camp. From there I took a lot of notes, paid attention, and then implemented what was shown. Now, before I got in with Tom, I didn't have an idea. I thought the best way to start, and the only way to start, was with rental properties, So I did have few rental properties under my belt before starting, and I lost all the rental properties when the market crashed back in 2008. So I got back into it, and I said, okay, I'm going to be a little more structured in what I do. So I got with Tom, followed his program. And with that said, I had a few. The first year was 2013 into 14 was more learning and getting things in place, and then I realized you can't get anything done unless you do it. So I started doing it. I just started making offers. I started getting rejections and making offers and making offers. Did I feel a little bit dejected at one point in time? Yeah, but I said, hey, I remember a saying from Les Brown, keep knocking on the door and one of them would open. So I continued to make offers, and bam, voila, the first deal came in.
How much did you make on that first deal?
That first deal was $15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000.
And
the first
in the
deal.
first year, how much did you wind up?
The first year was
how much?
Was $250,000.
$250,000 in your first year.
In my first year.
With me in the boot camp.
With the boot camp, and part of it was not just wholesaling, but rehabbing
as well. You mixed.
Yes. So
because what I teach you in terms of finding deals, making deals through negotiation, getting paid with good contracts, and navigating the pitfalls, doesn't matter if you're wholesaling, if you're rehabbing, or if you're going to buy and hold as a landlord, it's the same thing.
But the thing is, one of the things that you showed and mentioned during your classes was, hey, I'll teach you how to reach that fork in the road. Yeah. When you reach that fork in the road, you decide which sprung you're going to take, So I did some wholesaling to get cash in, and then I'm more into the rehabbing phase of it right now. Mm-hmm. I've rehabbed about 4 properties, mm-hmm. Each one of them well over $70,000.
Nice.
Yeah. And I am actually working on one right now that would give me a net after everything is paid $150,000. So hoping that comes to fruition.
That's going to be a very sweet deal.
Yes.
So $250,000 your first year with me in the boot camp, and that was across how many different deals?
That was between wholesaling and rehabbing.
Yeah, wholesaling and rehabbing. Yeah. How many deals did you do your first year?
My first year was 10.
So your first year with me, you did 10 deals for $250,000, $250,000, and then your second year with me, you did.
Second year was a little less. I only barely crossed $100,000 the second year. But listen,
it's a drop.
Some people work like myself. I have a job too, all year very hard for $100,000.
It's still not bad. I don't know, it's good. Godfrey manages a restaurant. I'm not going to say the name. He's not going to be there for much longer. Manages a restaurant at a shopping mall, and is transitioning out of that when they finally let you go. And with that amount of money, that's $350,000 in 2 years, 2 years in from taking my training. Godfrey, I call you my top student currently. It's also because you've attended every single rapid cash generation boot camp that I do. Yeah. He doesn't miss, folks. He makes sure he's there for everyone. Sometimes you've only been able to attend 1 or 2 days.
Some days at 1 or 2 days, but I've been there. And the important thing about it is, I've learned that repetition. You never get it the first time. And there's always something to say, oh my gosh, I missed that the first time.
Yeah.
So here we go again. Yeah. So I attend all the time because there's always something new coming up or something that I missed the first time that I could fall back on when I'm making my deals.
So it's grown, as you've grown as a real estate investor, the Rapid Cash Generator Bootcamp has continued to grow with you and provide you.
That's right.
What you
yeah.
need. Awesome.
And I have some of Tom's students that call me too, and I help them along the way and give them some assistance in making things happen.
That's the other thing that happens is you meet great people at the boot camp, and I know you've got a deal, I think, closing this week,
yeah.
which was sourced and partnered with someone you met at the boot camp.
At the boot camp, that's right.
Which is a lot of my students do that. They partner up with each other and do great things together.
I got the property, I negotiated the whole deal, and I met the gentleman at Tom's meeting, and he was somewhat stuck, so got together and say, okay, here's one, let's work on this. So it's about to close on the 22nd.
It's a good one, and that's going to be a beautiful deal. So you've done deals to range. You got a $150,000 deal coming up. What's been the smallest one so far?
The smallest one was 15.
15,000, and the biggest one.
And the biggest one was 78,000.
78,000. We like that one. So you guys can get a sense of the average on that across multiple deals. Here's another interesting point. You mentioned to me that many people come to you and say, "Hey, show me how to do it. Train me how to do it. Give me the contracts to do it." And your response has been,
"No, I paid for all this. I put my time into it, and it's something I paid for. And if you really want something, it's an investment. So I invested in myself, and I expect if you're that much interested and want to do it, invest in yourself. I'm not a teacher, I'm still learning. So come into me and I'll give you some pointers, but I suggest that if you want to do it and do it right, get with the pro, Tom."
Right, which makes sense. Get the same training that Godfrey's had, and you'll be able to do the same thing, guys. That's why I stick with you. That's why I let you come again and again to the boot camp. You invest one time, and then you get to come for life. And I do the event three times a year. It's 3 days, 3 times a year. So it's a whopping 9 days out of a year to learn how to make $250,000 or more.
All the time. Everyone that I meet, hey, you need to do this, you need to do it with Tom. I do it with Tom because he's local, he's right here, I can touch, feel, see him, and somebody that I what I would call hold accountable, for lack of a better word, because you're there with them. When you pay online, you're not seeing the person, and half the time they say they come in the town and you go to the event and it's not them. It's someone like me that takes the course that they have sign up talking about it.
Yep. I am there. I am the one that teaches you. Make sure I impart my knowledge from my experience, and my ongoing experience with students into you. We celebrate the success stories of other students. We have everyone help, and that way you build a great network, and it's a good
and
good
it's fun too. On top of it all, it's fun. You get to learn and have fun at the same time and meet great people. So I suggest that if you're on the fence, get in there and get it done.
Good. Well, not that I don't want you to maintain the top spot as my top student, but it's always a good challenge, and competition is a good thing.
It's a good thing. That's right.
You never know. Bring it on. It could be good. Godfrey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you at the next
Rapid
Cash Generator Bootcamp.
Great. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, man. Bye.